All right, guys. Good morning. Good morning. Welcome to the morning note. Hopefully, this mic is on. Mic is on. Great. Good morning. Good morning. Welcome to the morning note. My name is Carlos Garcia, founder and CEO of G.A.R Capital. Hope everyone's having a nice morning. It is Tuesday, October 5th, 2021. Let's go ahead and rock and roll. Let's talk market, shall we? Before we begin, bottom right-hand corner of your screen, a little white logo. Click on that. Turn on notifications. Subscribe to our channel. Like our videos. Comment your questions. Really do appreciate it, as always. There goes my voice as I take my first sip of coffee this morning. All right, so a couple of housekeeping notes. First thing, the live trading session will not be today or tomorrow. It'll be next week. So I'm trying to switch it up here to do it a week for 2 weeks instead of doing once a week for 4 weeks. I think that's going to give our members, who are YouTube Premium, a little bit more leeway in terms of the week. Obviously keeping track of trades and everything like that. So we're going to try that this month and see how it goes. So we're going to do it next week. I put that on the page, the community tab on YouTube. So that's Tuesday and Wednesday of next week we're going to start. And then after that, the week after, Tuesday and Wednesday again. I think that's really going to make a difference for our guys. A lot of people haven't been watching it live, but they watch it afterwards. So probably to them, it doesn't really matter. But for the most part, I think that's going to really make the difference. So cool on that end. We'll go from there. So no live trading today or this week, just a heads up. Okay, let's talk about the markets. Dow futures are up 157 points. Nasdaq up 52. S&P up 20. Russell up 9. Which is 0.40%. Crude oil continues to go up. We've been long crude for a while now, up 1.29%, 78.62 a barrel. The dollar index is up 0.18%, 93.94. The 10-year is at 1.5% on the yield. Let's see here. The VIX is at 22.21, down 3.27%. Gold futures are down 0.62% at 17.56 an ounce. Silver futures 22.45 an ounce, down 0.86%. Euro dollar down 21 pips, 115.99. 111.26, up 33 pips for the dollar yen for my forex people. Bitcoin is above 50,000 on the future side, and I also believe in the spot price, 50,320. Ethereum 34.74. Again, we've been talking about crypto. Q4 is going to be that money quarter, and we're already going to get over that first hurdle. I believe the first hurdle for Bitcoin, if we look at the daily here, let me go and bring this up for you. This is on Binance. If I can get this set up here. Sorry, Binance takes a little bit of time to load. Bear with me, guys. Okay, so let's take a look at Bitcoin here. Here's your next resistance, is right around 750. So let's call it 52,007 or 52.7, excuse me, as I adjust my chair. You guys can hear me. Okay, good. 52,700 is our first resistance. After that, it's going to be 60,000. Keep in mind, 64,564 is your all-time high. We're going to break that this quarter. The question is, what do we get after? So again, if you were holding Bitcoin throughout this craziness of a drop and everyone's freaking out, you're about to be rewarded. Congratulations. Next, one more piece of housekeeping. If you do like market commentary, the real time, you need to be on Twitter. You need to be following us on Twitter. If you were not following us on Twitter yesterday, you missed a lot because Instagram was down and Facebook was down. Well, we don't all use Facebook, but Instagram, again, can't put any posts, can't put any news up, but Twitter is your friend. G.A.R Capital, G.A.R Capital. Follow us on Twitter. That's where you're going to get all the info, all the good stuff. Right now, we're at 11,840 followers. Let's see if we get to 12,000. 12,000 followers, that's pretty cool. Okay, so remember, keep it locked on Twitter. I'm the one that runs the Twitter. I'm always having fun on there, talking to other traders, talking to other investors, just talking the markets. Okay, so let's talk about it. I expected a turnaround Tuesday. Yesterday, we talked about that with our Discord members. I was posting that information up. We are long a couple of stocks. We bought some Microsoft calls. We bought some Apple calls. We have some Nasdaq futures that we are slightly green on now. Are we out of the woods yet? No, we're not out of the woods yet. Right now, the E-mini futures, my target was that 50-day moving average overnight. We tapped it. Let's see if we can go and break above. 43.26 is your first resistance, which is your 100-day moving average. Keep that in mind. That's for S&P futures. Let's take a look at the Nasdaq. Nasdaq here, 14,604 is your first resistance. That is your 50-day moving average. I have an alert at 14,640. Microsoft, I have the 285 calls for this week. We bought them yesterday. We should be getting those today. Apple is up slightly, not as much as Microsoft is today. Well, I think they're both moving up pretty well. Let's take a look at some pre-market quotes and take a look. Pre-market quotes this morning. Nothing that I see here in terms of U.S. stocks. Apple's up 0.37%, Merck is up 1%, Microsoft's up 0.33%. So Apple and Microsoft are doing okay. JP Morgan up 0.31%, Boeing up 0.41%, Nike up 0.64%, Chevron up 1.34%. I talked about that yesterday on Twitter. No, I talked about that on the AMA on Instagram. Sorry, I can't keep up sometimes. Occidental Petroleum. Again, anything crude oil, 2.33%. We've been saying that we're long XOP. I'm going to go over the actual level with you guys. American Airlines up nearly 1%. ExxonMobil up 1.25%. You're going to start seeing as the Delta variant, COVID infection rate is actually pulling back a little bit. So we're going to start seeing the cyclicals, reopening stocks, airlines, cruise lines, shopping, retail, the experiences at concerts and stuff like that is an example. Those guys are going to do a little better than the mega cap techs for right now. Now again, I like mega cap tech, don't get me wrong. Tesla's up 0.55%. We broke 800 yesterday, remember? But then we had a slide in the market with mega caps going down. Tech was absolutely a bloodbath. Well, not a bloodbath, but it was down yesterday. Keep that in mind. Facebook was down throughout the platform. We shorted Facebook yesterday. We took it for profit. We took it for profit too early. I had no idea that all their platforms were going to go down. So imagine that. So Facebook we did catch yesterday. We also caught XLE calls, which was an unusual options activity. I believe the XLE calls we had was the 54s. Now we're at 55, 56, so pretty good stuff. And again, I still like oil long term. I do have XOP stock, so let's take a look at it. XOP should be around 103.65, a break of 104.40. It gets interesting. Let's take a look at the daily. Again, another breakout on the daily. Here's where it really looks nice. Again, if you're swinging, this is just owning the stock. A break of 104.40, it gets to the point where 111.79 is in play. Our first target on Investment Club is around 130, 120, 130, let's say. So 130 would give us about a 31% profit on the stock. Would that be a point where we want to take profits? Not terrible. I mean, I'm okay with that. Really, I'm looking for about 180, if anything, but I think 130 wouldn't be a bad idea, but 180 is really the target. That would be the highs of 2019. So I'm looking for about 180. We got in around 99 or 98. That would be close to around 90% profit on XOP, so I'm long XOP with Investment Club. One other thing, let's go to crypto. We also have Shiba. Shiba we signaled for Investment Club. It was a pure gamble, pure trade. We got in, we're up about 115%. Again, I don't know much about Shiba. That I was just following the price action. Here we go. I told Investment Club if they wanted to take their profit at around 90 or 100%, that's cool. I'm holding on to it. I only invested or put in $1,000. So there we go. Seeing a little bit of rejection here in the market after those moving averages. So again, we'll see how we open. I expect a green day today in the market. Let's take a look at crude oil. Crude oil hit 78.88. If we go ahead and expand the daily, it's a breakout on the daily, just like XOP. On a 3-year chart, another breakout as well. Oil is very nice here. Oil is really a reopening kind of play, because again, if people are leaving the house or not working from home, they're going to be driving their cars. I'm expecting $100 a barrel in oil pretty soon. Probably not by the end of the year, but by next year, I think we get $100 a barrel, and then we'll kind of peter out around 110 and reject. So that's where I'm expecting. But again, it's a pure breakout on crude. It's tough to trade crude futures because it's only every month. It's not a quarterly like an index. So if that's the case, you could start looking at XOP like we have. Chevron is fine, and XOM or XLE. Those three are really nice to hold long term if you want to own those, and then have a target and you get out. So there you go. Let's take a look. HJ is asking about Alibaba. Alibaba I do own. Again, I'm looking for a break of 130 to buy more. I like Alibaba long term. Right now, you're under a lot of pain. I get it. And it's continuing to fall. It's all China right now. But again, I still like Alibaba long term. Huge support at 130.01. I'm going to hold it. I'm not going to panic sell, and I'm just going to hold it for a while. Which one of the big tech to buy right now is a better to wait? I think we still have a little more room to run to the downside. Until we start hitting major moving average of the 200-day, today, yes, we'll get a bounce. I'm expecting a green day today, obviously. But for the most part, I think mega cap tech names have a little more to go. So let's take a look at Apple, for example. If we bring up the daily, again, I think that Apple can definitely tap 135. 135 is a buy level. That's your 200-day moving average. That'd be the levels I'm looking at. Looking at Google, I don't think Google can get to the 200-day moving average, but at 24.44, I'm licking my chops. I definitely want to buy there. Microsoft, I don't know if we're going to get to the 200-day moving average there, but 270, 260, definitely would love to add. Nvidia, 200-day moving average seems like a lot. I like 175, 180 for Nvidia. I would buy there. AMD, love it as well. I don't think we're going to get to 90. Anything below 99 is not a bad idea. I'll wait for around 95 for AMD to buy. If we're taking a look at Facebook, that 200-day moving average is definitely in focus. It is bouncing nice, bouncing today about $2. 315, 2663 or 315 is a good level to buy some Facebook. That's your 200-day. Amazon, if you're looking for a place to look, we broke the 200-day, but 3136 is the bottom range of that channel. That's where I would be buying Amazon. If you're looking at Tesla, Tesla is actually moving up. So again, 702 is your 200-day moving average. I like a deeper discount. I thought maybe 583, but 702 is not bad either. So 700 wouldn't be a bad idea. That's your 200-day on Tesla if you're looking for some mega cap names to buy the dip. But right now, it's not enough yet. I know we had a dip yesterday, but it's not enough to really move the needle. JPM. All right, we were just talking Tesla. JPM, again, we topped 170.44. Again, with yields going up now today, up 1.51. Obviously, I expect JPM to continue to run, possibly to 170. If you're looking at JPM possibly this week, I got into some XLF calls on the unusual options activity. It fell a little bit, but JPM doesn't look bad here. Possibly target the 170. See what the price action is. If you can break above 168, that wouldn't be a bad idea to go long on JPM. What is your favorite company to invest in and why? Favorite company? I would say Apple is probably my favorite, and it's close. It's between Apple and Microsoft. Microsoft is because it's consistent, and Apple because I'm a big consumer of Apple. I have everything Apple. I'm talking to you on an Apple iMac. So Apple to me is my favorite, Microsoft being number 2. Pins, puts. Well, keep in mind, guys, everything fell. So if you're looking at pins, let's go ahead and expand it, and then let's take a look here, the daily. Yeah, pins has all the way down to around 42.32. That's your support. Again, pins is fine. There is a gap to fill to the upside. There's a lot of gaps to fill on a lot of these mega cap tech names. But looking at pins, you can see definitely some downward action. 42 is not bad, but you have to get down to around, let's see, there's a gap to fill right here at 46. So if you break down below, let's call it 49, if you get below 49, then you could target around 46. That's probably your best bet if you're going by the daily. Lucid, LCID, Lucid Group, they are up pre-market, obviously. Looking at the daily is just sideways action, getting some downward traction here. There is a support level right around $23, but other than that, if it's not puts, there's not really much to do. You do have the 50 crossing below the 200-day, which is a bearish signal. Could you take a look at Netflix? Yeah. Looking at Netflix here, we're hugging the 50-day moving average on the hourly, so not much there. Looking at the daily, it is a breakout. It is very nice here. The question is, do you want to buy up here? Would you want to buy calls here? I wouldn't buy calls on Netflix because it's just expensive. $600 a share, you're talking about maybe $7, $8, maybe $10 for options. So it looks nice, don't get me wrong. If you're an investor, hold on to it. I don't own it anymore, other than in SpyG. But again, Netflix, if you're looking at it here, again, if you're looking to buy more shares, 458 doesn't seem like a bad idea to me. That's where I have it. That's the bottom range of the bottom range of the channel here. If you really want to take a look at maybe a little sooner, 521 isn't bad. Do you think bearish sentiment will carry over the middle of the month? Yeah, I would say today we get a little bit of a turnaround, and then it gets, kind of sideways for a little bit. Usually about once a week we get those really ugly flushes, and then we get a bounce, and then we get sideways for a little bit of chop action. So it's not the best to trade. So you just have to be extremely careful. If you look at E-mini futures here, really all we are is just playing this channel. That's all we've been doing. You see, this channel has been holding. So, but again, it's getting lower and lower. 43.26 is your next resistance right here. So again, right there is where you start want to take pullbacks, any of your calls or longs that you have there. Again, if you're a trader. But right now, that 50-day moving average needs to break as we are consolidating and a couple of candles on E-mini futures. On Nasdaq, again, same thing. We're just in a channel here. We bounced from this channel. Now we're within the channel again. We need to get to around 14,604 to start getting back to the upside. Obviously, political show will probably last until October 18th. Yeah, what else is new? The political Muppet show in Congress. That's just the reality. SPY, again, SPY, you can just take a look at ES. It's the same thing. You're just still back within this channel. Nothing has really changed. You need to get above the 50-day. Again, you have non-farm payroll this week. So that's another thing to look at. A couple of things I would be looking at for that non-farm payroll report is financials. Financials is a big one. Financials are cyclicals. Names like, anything that's like a restaurant or airline, stuff like that. Again, a good jobs report would boost that as well. You're welcome. OCGN. I don't know much about this company. I'm just going to go ahead and look it out with you, and then we're going to do one more chart I want you guys to look at, kind of like the chart of the day for me if you want to take a look at it. OCGN, again, it's just sideways action. I don't know what you're trying to do on it. I wouldn't trade it. One more thing, the VIX. VIX is extremely important. What do I always say to you guys? The VIX, TNX, and ES. Those are your three things you want to look at. You want to look at yields, you want to look at the VIX, you want to take a look at E-mini futures, right? Well, interesting enough here on the VIX, on the daily, we do have, let me go ahead to the hourly, this is where I had it. Triple top on the VIX. We try to test 25 again for the third time in about 5 days. It rejected. Now we're at 22.36. Looks like we have a little more downside right until 2070. 2070 is that double bottom. So again, a lot of chop on VIX. This is not signaling panic. This is signaling structured selling. This right here is by the dip for the most part so far. We can get to 18, sure, but we need to get below 2070, 2063, that level. So keep an eye on the VIX. If you start getting close to around 20, that's when you want to probably look at some protection for the mid-month, for some VIX, VXXY, or whatever. You want to buy some puts. It's an example. If you're playing just the VIX, but for the most part, you could see like kind of a structured pattern on the VIX. I saw this on CNBC that there was a lot of buying of the QQQ calls for this week on Friday. So if someone is betting on some movement to the upside on tech, I have some Nasdaq futures running. So let's see what we get. It's a new vaccine pill that will probably get approved. Okay. I haven't seen much about it. So if you're looking to play that, just be careful. Just keep your risk management. But I don't know much about that, to be honest. And you guys are welcome. Visa taking a hit. Obviously, I still love Visa long term. Well, it took a hit yesterday with everything else. I own Visa. I love Visa long term. Visa or MasterCard, they're both fine. A breakup 210 on Visa is a buy signal for me. But other than that, guys, I do expect a turnaround Tuesday. Don't get too excited. I don't expect a 1,000-point pop. Again, 43.26 is probably the high of the day we'll get to. If we break that, I'd be very surprised. But I don't think we recapture the lows of the day yesterday. So I think I can't say all clear signal, but it should be a nice day today. So I expect green. Have a great rest of your day, guys. We'll catch you guys tomorrow for the morning note. G.A.R Capital FX.com. Follow us on Twitter, guys, for the news. Very, very important. Turn on notifications so when we tweet, it's only important stuff. Maybe a joke here or there. Who knows? Having some fun. We'll catch you guys tomorrow. Have a great rest of your day. And go Yankees. Yankees play tonight against the Red Sox. The wild card playoff play-in at Fenway Park. My neighbor is a huge Boston fan. He's actually from Boston. So I'm going to go over there and hopefully give him a little trash talk and see if we can get that Yankee dub. Have a great one, guys. Thank you so much for your time.